continue reading. This reading out loud is to learn and improve English reading skill and to educate the Buddha's teaching via the Buddhadasa Bhikkhu's book titled Handbook for Mankind. I may be read unclear or not correct pronunciation or stress on each word. By the way, I try my best to read out loud based on my self-learning background and my own accent. Let's get started. Page number 66. As soon as we see that Buddhism has everything that any other religion has and also several things that none of them have, we realize that Buddhism is for everyone. Buddhism is the universal religion. Buddhism is the universal religion. It can be put into practice by everyone in every age and era. People everywhere have the same problem: to free themselves from suffering. Yes. To free themselves from suffering. Suffering which is inherent in birth, aging, pain, and death. Suffering which stems from desire, from grasping. Everyone without exception, celestial being, human being, or beast, has this same problem, and everyone has the same job to do, namely to eliminate completely the desire, the unskillful grasping, which is the root cause of that suffering. Thus, Buddhism is the universal religion. The things we cling to. 6. What are we clinging to? What is our handhold? What are we clinging to is the word itself. In Buddhism, the word has a broader connotation than it has in ordinary usage. It refers to all things, to the totality. It does not refer just to human beings, or celestial beings, or gods, or beasts, or the denizens of hell, or demons, or hungry ghosts, or titans, or any particular realm. Check pronunciation. Realm. Re realm.
realm,
Realm. Realm. ออก
realm,
ออกเสียงยากจัง realm
realm,
real คล้ายๆ real นะคล้ายๆ realm or any popular realm แปลว่าขอบเขต realm of existence at all. What the word refers to here is a whole lot taken together. To know the word is difficult because certain levels of the word are concealed. Most of us are familiar with only the outermost layer or level, the level of relative truth, the level corresponding to the intellect of the average man. For this reason, Buddhism teaches us about the world at various levels. The Buddha had a method of instruction based on a division of the world into a material or physical aspect and non-material or mental aspect. He further divided up the mental world or mind into 4 parts, counting the physical and the mental together makes a total of 5 components, called by the Buddha the 5 aggregates, which together go to make up the world, in particular living creatures and man himself. In looking at the world, we shall concentrate on the world of living creatures, in particular man, because it is man that happens to be the problem. In man, these 5 components are all present together. His physical body is the material aggregate. His mental aspect is divisible into 4 aggregates, which we shall now describe. The first of the mental aggregates is feeling, which is of 3 kinds, namely pleasure or gratification, displeasure or suffering, and the neutral kind, which is neither pleasure nor displeasure, but which is a kind of feeling nevertheless. Under normal conditions, feelings are always present in us. Every day we are filled with feelings. The Buddha then pointed out feeling as one of the components which together go to make up the man. The second component of mind is perception. This is the process of becoming aware, similar to waking up as opposed to being sound asleep or unconscious or dead. It refers to memory as well as awareness of sense impressions, covering both the primary sensation resulting from contact with an object by way of eye, ear, nose, tongue, or body, and the recall of previous impressions. Thus, one may be directly aware of an object as black or white, long or short, man or beast, and so on. Or one may be similarly aware in retrospect, 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 retrospect. Retrospect, retrospect, retrospect การระลึกถึงความหลัง
Retrospect.
retrospect, retrospect. Aware in retrospect by way of memory. The third mental aggregate is the actively thinking component. In an individual, thinking of doing something, thinking of saying something, good thought and bad thought, viewed thinking, active thinking. This is the third mental aggregate. The fourth component of mind is consciousness. It is the function of knowing the objects perceived by way of eye, ear, nose, tongue, and the general body sense, and also by way of the mind itself. These five aggregates constitute the site of the four kinds of clinging explained in the fourth chapter. Turn back and read it again and think it over so that you understand it properly. You will then realize that it is these five aggregates that are the object and handhold for our grasping and clinging. A person may grasp at any one of these groups as being a self according to the extent of his ignorance. For instance, a boy who carelessly bumps into a door and hurts himself feels he has to give the door a kick in order to relieve his anger and pain. In other words, he is grasping at a purely material object, namely the door, which is nothing but wood, as being a self. This is attachment at the lowest level of all. A man who becomes angry with his body to the point of striking it or hitting himself on the head is grasping and clinging in the same way. He is taking those body parts to be selves. If he is rather more intelligent than that, he may seize on feeling or perception or active thinking or consciousness at any one of these groups as being itself. If he is unable to distinguish them individually, he may grasp at the whole lot collectively as being a self. That is, take all 5 groups together to be his self. After the physical body, the group next most likely to be clung to as being a self is feeling pleasurable. Clung, cling, clung, cling, clung. Painful or neutral. Let us consider the situation in which we find ourselves entranced with sensual pleasures, in particular, delectable sensations caught up heart and soul in the various colors and shapes, sound, sense, taste, and tactile objects that we perceive here. Feeling is the pleasure as delight experienced, and it is to that very feeling of pleasure and delight that we cling. Almost everyone clings to feeling as being a self, because there is no one who does not like delightful sensations, especially tactile, tactile, tactile sensations by way of the skin. Ignorance or delusion blinds a person to all else. He sees only the delightful object and grasps at it as being a self. He regards that object as mine. Feeling, whether of pleasure or displeasure, is truly a sight of suffering. Spiritually speaking, these feelings of pleasure and displeasure may be considered as synonymous with suffering, because they give rise to nothing but mental torment. Pleasure renders the mind buoyant, 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 B-U-O-Y-A-T เนี่ยมันเป็น B E B นี่ B U O B Uนี่ V U O Y A N T
Buoyant. Buoyant.
buoyant buoyant my buoyant buoyant this pressure deflects it gain and loss happiness and sorrow amount in effect to mental restlessness or instability they set the mind spinning. This is what is meant by grasping at feeling as being a self. We should all do well to have a closer look at this process of grasping at feeling as being a self, as being ours, and try to gain a proper understanding of it. Understanding feeling as an object of clinging, the mind will be rendered independent of it. Feeling normally has control over the mind. Learning us into situations that we regret later on. In his practical path to perfection or arahantship, the Buddha teaches us repeatedly to give particular attention to the examination of feeling. Many have become arahants and broken free from suffering by means of restricting feeling to simply an object of study. Feeling is more likely than any of other aggregates to serve as a handhold for us to cling to, because feeling is the primary objective of all our striving and activity. We study industriously and work at our jobs in order to get money. Then we go and buy things, utensil, utensil เนี่ยมันเป็นอะไรโน้ตไปกันutensil utensil food, amusements, things covering the whole range from gastronomy to sex, and then we partake of these things with one single objective, namely pleasurable feeling. In other words, delightful stimulation of eye, ear, nose, tongue, and body. We invest all our resources, monetary, physical, mental, simply in the expectation of pleasurable feeling. And everyone knows well enough in his own mind that if it weren't for theอ่านตามเหมือนเพียวเลย P U R E เพียวใช่ไหม L U E R ก็อ่านแบบเลี้ยวไปก่อนเลือ of pleasurable